please, and we'll identify you and let our panel know what your name is and where you are from.
Major General Benjamin D. Foulois, U.S. Air Force retired, Washington, D.C.
General Foulois, Washington, D.C., and if you'll whisper your secret to me, sir, we'll show it at the same time to the folks at home.
Largest Air Force in the world at that time?
We did not? Who was larger?
We had the only one in the world at that time, consisted of me and one airplane, 8 men.
Now, I think everyone remembers his first airplane ride, but yours was particularly memorable. Will you tell us about your first ride?
First flight I made in an airplane was on July 30th, 1909, when we made the final acceptance test for the right airplane. We made 3 world records with it. Cross country, 5 miles out and back, speed 42.5 miles an hour, and altitude 400 feet.
Isn't that...
And he was operating at that time, not as a flyer, because at that time he didn't know how to fly. He was navigator for Orville Wright in the first get it down to Texas and learn how to fly it. And they gave him a budget of $150 to do it with. Our Air Force budget for that year was $150. And General, how long did that $150 last you?
Well, it lasted me about a month. It's supposed to run for 4 months, but I used it all up and crashes in the first month.
He finally spent $300 out of his own pocket. It was a very expensive airplane to maintain because every time he'd take it up, he'd crash it again, you see. And whenever he got stuck, he would sit down and write to the Wright brothers, and he would say, this is what I did, and this is what happened, and what do you think I ought to do instead? Would you tell us about the things that you added?
Well, the first thing I added to it was a belt. The second flight I made after crashing the first time, I took it up and got almost thrown out. Landed. An artillery officer came up there, and I told Fred I wanted to get a belt to keep me in that damn plane. He said, what do you want? I said a strap about 4 feet long, something I lashed myself to the seat with. That was the first safety belt invented.
What else do you think he thought of putting on the airplane? Wheels. Up until then, it had no wheels. They were catapulted off, you see. Now, I would have thought that was one of the first things, you know, almost before you think of the wings. But no, he was a fellow who thought of the idea of putting wheels on it. And he was also the gentleman who installed the first wireless so that he could communicate with the troops in the field. Isn't that correct, sir?
That's right.